So imagine you're an average soldier looking to join special forces and whatnot. You know, you got some talent, but it's not all there yet. Now you got a solo squad, not only the #1 bounty hunters on this side of the known universe, but brigades of other soldiers just like you. One second you're an expendable henchman, the next you're in a bipedal nuclear submarine loaded for bear, just ready to do damage. Meet Jack Cooper. Today I'm gonna rank him among some of gaming's greatest characters. If you don't know how this works, you'll figure it out soon enough. Can you tell I impromptu that? Oh my gosh. Alright, this whole video I'm gonna sound like the fat electrician, so fuck it, we show love out here. Anyways, it all starts at briefing. Jack is training to be a pilot, one of the most efficient and deadly tier of soldiers in gaming lore. But unfortunately, he gets interrupted as a battle has emerged below. And as we're landing, apparently we are getting our ass handed to us. But that's okay, because Jack immediately starts carrying the team and leads said team to an open area with Before passing out, Jack unfortunately watches what happens to heroes in the real world as Lastimosa gets jumped by some of the best bounty hunters in the known universe and presumably passes away. Fast forward, Lastimosa stays conscious long enough to transfer BT to Jack and donate his pilot gear to Jack. Cooper then buries Lastimosa and begins his generational run of revenge killings. So BT and Cooper attempt a rendezvous with the rest of the invasion force, presumably, and after rummaging through what I assume is some kind of sewage facility, they run into Kane, a member of the crew that just murdered your trainer / brother-in-arms. So Jack utters absolutely no words and immediately starts boxing, zero questions asked, just how I like my protagonist. So anyways, Jack and Kane have a stressful battle, but eventually Kane meets a rather dramaless death. But afterwards, BT and Cooper rob him! Let's fucking go! So after robbing Kane, we start to retrace Major Anderson's footsteps and end up taking a shortcut through a facility. Jack and BT proceed to rummage through said facility, stomping feet and clapping cheeks. I don't know if that's a real saying, but I just said it, so now it's a thing. And at a certain point, BT gets yoinked by a loader arm. I presume it's a loader arm. Or is that only like a Borderlands? Anyways, that's not relevant. The Apex Predators have been tracking Jack and end up locking him in a training facility where he proceeds to absolutely rinse these clankers. Eventually, Jack reunites with one of the most loved AI personalities in gaming. You know what? Who are y'all taking? Y'all taking Prime BT or Prime Cortana? Speaking of Cortana. Yeah. The jokes is back. Anyways, in all seriousness, just like in real life, the bro isn't gonna throw tantrums and fuck with your head, so BT gets a dub, but that's just me personally. Anyways, eventually a very confident ass sprints into the facility and gives a backhanded compliment to us. Anyways, after that she pursues us with relentless aggression, but unfortunately for her, Jack is married to the game, so he gives her a devious backhand before ripping her out of her Titan and crushing her with the force of fucking Jupiter before Spartan kicking her deformed Titan into the ground. Anyways, eventually, I love how he just does all this and just continues on with his day like it didn't just happen. Like, okay, yeah, we just casually murdered one of the most talented bounty hunters in the world, just ripped her out of the Titan chassis, smushed her like there's not even a corpse to bury anymore. And by the way, I'm gonna Spartan kick your already dead deformed Titan, just to add a cherry on top to the eventually Jack escapes with BT and they attempt to rendezvous with Major Anderson, but unfortunately they find his corpse wedged in the ceiling, tragically resembling some caving fatalities. And yeah, if you're claustrophobic, just take my word for it. Don't look him up. Nonetheless, Jack inherits not only Anderson's mission, but his wrist device. Jack now has the ability to traverse the facility safely, with the word safe being very relative. Anyways, Anderson discovered this super weapon called the Arc, and Jack eventually scans the Arc and discovers this.
Well done, pilot. Scan complete. As Anderson discovered, the IMC intend to destroy the militia planet of Harmony using the full-scale version of this weapon. Pilot Cooper, our journey is far from over. We must get this data to the fleet.
After this, Jack attempts to repower and use the radio beacon to contact the fleet. Unfortunately for him, the enemy discovers his plan, and this ordinary recover and repair turns into a full-on battle. But as we all know by now, grunts are nothing to Jack and BT, so eventually bounty hunter Richter tries to take on the unstoppable force named Jack Cooper, and I almost called him whatever that word is for the butthole, a sphincter? I don't know what it is, but I almost called it. Anyways, he has this chest-pounding introduction and starts presumably insulting us in German, but you already know Jack stands on straight business and can't have anyone slandering his name. So Cooper runs up, and I want to say he hip-tossed him, but no, he just picked the motherfucker up. Like he just clean and jerked this motherfucker, like, and hit him with a rocket salvo. It's kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie to you. And again, I love how Jack just starts clapping and then like it's just over. Like he runs up, done. Like I said before, like bro really slaps up some of the most talented pilots in the known universe, and his response is a handshake, and you know what I'm saying, he just handshakes and proceeds to do whatever the fuck he was doing before. Jack and Master Chief would get along great. Like they would be an unstoppable duo. They would be Kobe and fucking Shaq, dog. Anyways, fast forward, BT and Jack reunite with the militia, and the commander attempts to get BT a new and more qualified pilot, but BT levels up from the cookout tier to the real nigga tier when he says, nah, I got a pilot right here. BT is a real motherfucker.
I'm not an idol, you can have the fame back. I don't wanna hear your music, boy, you can't rap. Girl, you been on my decent.
Anyways, it's time for the final battle already, dude. It's only been like 6 minutes. Anyways, it's time for the final battle. We launch a raid on this air base to stop the fold weapon from receiving the arc. So Jack and a gang of other Titan pilot combos storm the facility. Unfortunately, the IMS Draconis takes off with the fold weapon despite our efforts. So we find some ships and, well, chase it. And after a brutal fight, some of the flyest one mission characters ever known to gaming and Jack commandeer the Malta and attempt to use it to board the Draconis. Before he can do that though, TikTok's favorite North Star intercepts us, and this is one of the toughest fights yet, as he believes in the art of jumping a nigga. So nonetheless, we go band for band with him and eventually snipe him out of the sky. He presumably crashes and dies, so BT and Cooper attempt to board the Draconis with a fastball. Unfortunately, Viper attacks and injures Jack and has a vicious hand-to-hand fight with BT that amputates our favorite AI system's arm, you know what I mean? So during said struggle, BT somehow unlatches or rips the cockpit, holy English, he rips the cockpit hatch open, allowing Jack to get a fire star and a few bullets into the cockpit, killing Viper. Jack and BT aren't able to board the Draconis, so they infiltrate the Malta again and discover the Ark. Realizing that the fold weapon doesn't work without the Ark, they end up kidnapping the Ark. Unfortunately, during the process of kidnapping the Ark, they get incapacitated. Eventually, the Malta crashes, and despite BT saving Jack's life, Jack still passes out and wakes up to pure fucking chaos. Blisk attempts to blackmail BT into giving up the Ark, and oh, that's the first time I said it without making it dramatic. Anyways, it eventually works. The Ion Main eventually destroys BT's chassis and escapes with the Ark. After that, BT gives Jack his emergency survival kit and they attempt an escape. So Jack runs through the facility with one of the most overpowered lore weapons of all fucking time. Like, I don't really think it's a debate. Like, there might be things that are just as good, but I don't think there's anything better. Anyways, after destroying some defense forces, he breaks out of the facility and makes it, well, yeah, he breaks out of the facility, makes it out, and calls for a new Titan. But little did he know,
Hello, Jack.
Glad to have you back in one piece, BT.
Over 25,000, actually. BT-7274 online and ready for combat.
the fight wasn't over. Eventually we catch up to Sloan and Blisk, and yeah, the latter ends up running off, but the former stays, and it's time for some good old revenge. Jack and Sloan tango for a while, and she unleashes a devastating laser once or twice, but eventually Jack kicks her chassis door open and miniguns her exposed body. Again, a beautiful display of revenge, best served ice cold. But we know how this ends. The fold weapons fires and or blows up, incapacitating BT and Jack. Again, after being paid a visit by Blisk, BT loads himself into a launcher and shoots himself toward the Ark. Some Titans, like BT, are powered via nuclear reactor, and they can use that as a last-ditch self-destruct to save the pilot. BT does that at the core, and it leads to this.
Trust me.
Cooper, we just lost BT signal. We're almost there. Cooper, I'm marking your HUD with the coordinates. The evac site might be in midair. There's nothing we can touch down on here.
And if I'm flying through this shit show, you better be there on time, kid.
Move, pilot! I'm tracking you. Keep going. That's it. You're almost there. Move, move! Cooper, jump for it!
Got a visual!
Doctor! Come on, pilot! Parker, get us out of here!
Hang on!
Pilot Cooper. A lot of people owe their lives to you. And to BT. Barker, set a course for Harmony. Take us home.
And that's it. The story is over. I really can't believe we explained basically the entire plot of Titanfall 2 in 9 minutes. Anyways, some people believe that the helmet at the end is like talking in Morse code. I think that's actually canon, but I never followed up on that because unfortunately Titanfall 3 was scrapped multiple freaking times, and diving into Easter eggs, you know, would just hurt my soul at this point. I don't want to go through that. Anyways, as for Jack, I know he didn't get the big cinematic battles some of our future contestants will get, or even some of the former got, but Jack is a badass, and I know you can say that about literally any FPS campaign main character or FPS protagonist, but I feel like it's safe to say Jack is easily a member of the house. I won't do this often, but you know, if we're ranking TF2 as a whole on the multiplayer alone, Titanfall 2 is 100% in the gaming Hall of Fame, and this will be a rare exception to where I will include things outside of the game into said ranking. It's just Jack in Titanfall is just too special to the gaming community for him to not at least be in the house. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this one. Our next nominee is another iconic duo that I feel like y'all would love. Until then, I'll be dropping some anime reviews, maybe regular gaming will return, which probably not. I need to ride this momentum until the channel is big enough for me to just drop air quotes filler gaming content, although the gaming content is really underappreciated. Like, I make some really good gaming videos, dude. Anyways, until we meet in those videos or the comments, remember, we know we up next, sponsored by Atari, and